So, I have motion sickness, but I still love to play this game. So let me tell you my settings to lessen my motion sickness. Ta-da! First, let's go to settings. Then go to graphics. Here we have render resolution. I set it at 1.5. So the higher, the better rendering. So let's compare the two rendering. So we have here the 0.6. It's a little blurry and hard to look at. Let's switch it back to my settings at 1.5. So here the lines are better and it's not as bad to look at. The next setting that I have is to look over this 4 volumetric fog, reflections, motion blur, and bloom. So I have them all turned off, especially the most important is the motion blur and the bloom. These two are notorious for making your motion sickness trigger. Okay, so this will be the most triggering things in your game. Okay, so let's try to turn off motion blur. Oh no, I'll get dizzy for this. But anyway, so like this. So when you move, you can see the blurs and I'm already dizzy. Let's put it back. Turn it off. And this one. Smooth. Now for bloom, it's mostly with, you could see it with the effects for your skills.
Hold the line.
So it has more effects. Now let's try to turn that off again. I keep forgetting where. Turn off. Next setting will be when you like to do co-op. I turn it partially off so I could still see the effects of my co-op teammates. But if you want to turn it off, it will be also okay. And because if you turn it on again, the effects will be triggering your motion sickness. Now that's it for the graphics part. Now there are still some settings that are quite useful to prevent your motion sickness without taking the fun off of this gorgeous view of this game. So let's go to controls this time, and we have here the camera sensitivity. So camera sensitivity is just about how fast your screen will turn with your mouse. For me, I use the mouse, so that's how it is here. Now let's take a look at the normal view, like this. This is how I turn my camera with a 3 camera sensitivity. Now let's try with the highest. So it's like this. You can turn very fast. Oh no, I'm getting dizzy. So also, it would also depend on the mouse that you're using. So if you have a very sensitive mouse, or you have a high DPI, so you could lower your sensitivity here. For me, I am at 800 DPI, I think. So I'll just have it at 3. So I can still turn around easily. But without, of course, without getting dizzy. Now we have the next setting is the camera y-axis resets automatically. I have it turned off. I don't remember why, but I think it will not reset, I think, every time you move. So it will be less. So let's try to turn that on. And the most important setting for motion sickness control is this combat camera setting. So I'll turn it off. Now let's try to find some enemies to see why. Again, let's turn.
Stabilize!
Allow me! Nirvana!
Okay, let's at this time, let's turn off the combat camera. Oops. Okay, so the first thing I noticed was the camera didn't turn up.
Over here! Rest, rebuild!
Did not shift the view during the combat.
Surprise!
Okay, so that's for the combat camera. So the last setting that I will be telling you is still on controls. This is the default camera distance. So if we set it at 4.5, your characters is much closer to you. And your focus will be much more on the character. That's the default one. So yes. Now if you set it at the highest, which is 6, your character is much farther away from you. And your focus will be much more on the view. So I think with people with motion sickness, it's more recommended to look further away than to look closer on some things, especially if it's the default camera. That's it for the motion sickness guide. I mean, the motion sickness settings. So that you still could play Genshin Impact even if you have motion sickness. Thank you for watching, and let's play Genshin Impact. Bye!
This is order.